Welcome back to Rupert Reads. Today we're going to continue with The Adventures of Buster Bear by Thornton W. Burgess. Chapter 15, Buster Bear is a Fallen Hero. A fallen hero is someone to whom everyone has looked up as very brave and then proves to be less brave than he was supposed to be. That was the way with Buster Bear. When Little Joe Otter had told how Farmer Brown Boy had been afraid at the mere sight of one of Buster Bear's footprints, they had at once made him a hero of Buster. At least some of them had. And this was the very first time, that they had ever known anyone who lives in the Green Forest to make Farmer Brown's boy run away. They looked on Buster Bear with a great deal of respect and were very proud of him. Now that they had seen Buster Bear and Farmer Brown's boy meet face to face, and while it was true Farmer Brown's boy had run away as fast as he could, it was also true that Buster Bear had done the same thing. He had run even faster than Farmer Brown's boy, and had hidden in the most lonely place he could find in the very deepest part of the Green Forest. It was hard to believe, but it was true. And right away, everybody lost a great deal of the respect for Buster which they had felt. It is always that way. They begin to say unkind things about him. They said them among themselves, and some of them even said them to Buster when they met him, or said them so that he would hear them. Of course, Blacky the Crow and Sammy Jay, who, because they could fly, had no fear from Buster, and who had always delighted in making other people uncomfortable, never let a chance go by to tell Buster and everyone else within hearing what they thought of him. They delighted in flying around through the Green Forest until they had found Buster Bear, and then from the safety of the treetops, screaming at him. Buster Bear is big and strong, his teeth are big, his claws are long. In spite of these, he runs away and hides himself the livelong day. A dozen times a day, Buster would hear them screaming this. He would grind his teeth and glare up at them, but that was all he could do. He couldn't get at them. He just had to stand it and do nothing. But when impudent little Chatterer, the red squirrel, shouted the same thing from a place just out of reach in a big pine tree, Buster could stand it no longer. He gave a deep, angry growl that made little shivers run over Chatterer. And then, suddenly, he started up the tree after Chatterer. With a frightened little shriek, Chatterer scampered to the top of the tree. He hadn't known that Buster could climb, but Buster is a splendid climber, especially when the tree is big and stout as this one was. And now he went up after Chatterer, growling angrily. How Chatterer did wish that he had kept his tongue still. He ran to the very top of the tree, so frightened that his teeth chattered, and when he looked down and saw Buster's great mouth coming nearer and nearer, he nearly tumbled down with terror. The worst of it was there wasn't another tree near enough for him to jump to. He was in trouble this time, was Chatterer, sure enough, and there was no one to help him. That's the end of this chapter. Thank you for joining us, and if you liked what you heard, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you.